Hey there guys, bringing you a river tour on one of my favorite characters out of X of Swords, Abigal Brand. I'm not super familiar with this character from the comics, though I do know that she plays a semi-important role in the Aftermath for X of Swords event, but the character in-game is a lot more interesting. So, to kick it off with her keywords, we've got Sword, X-Men, Politician, and Soldier. All pretty relevant keywords. Admittedly, the Politician and the Sword are probably the least relevant. X-Men, we just got 15 X-Men sets and we're always going to get more, so X-Men are always relevant. And Soldier, while one of the more uncommon generic keywords, still very valuable, nonetheless. That Sword keyword ends up doing a lot of work once we actually look at her character. So let's get into it. First, for her traded ability, she's got leadership. So leadership's always nice. We always like to have at least a couple leaderships on every team we build, because if one of them dies, you want to still have that action economy boosting up over your opponent. Hopefully they don't have one, or you can take out their leaderships. Characters with leadership tend to be high priorities for me when I'm trying to play against my opponent, trying to take out their leaderships so that they're taking less actions than me, because if I'm taking more actions, I'm winning the game. It's that simple. So her coming with leadership is very nice. Also, when she is establishing theme teams, on your starting force, characters with the X-Men keyword gain the Sword keyword. So this is where that Sword keyword comes up. Any X-Men characters that do not already have Sword, there's a few, now gain Sword. Now, realistically, this is not going to really affect your team building process unless you get a little creative. There are some Sword characters that do not have X-Men keywords. Now, primarily, I'm talking White Vision here. He's the best one, honestly. But we've also got stuff like Jimmy Woo, or there's a few other high priority targets, but that White Vision is honestly the best for my money. And this allows you to extend out your X-Men teams into also Sword characters, or your Sword team also into X-Men characters. There's a lot of really good, really powerful X-Men utility characters. We're talking Venom Mags, we're talking Chase A, we're talking the Chase Beast. They can outwit things that are protected outwit. There's a bunch of stuff like that that are really powerful X-Men figures that you can either put on this team with Abigail Brand so that she can bring a Sword character along with the ride, or you can put some Sword characters on with an X-Men team and bring them along for the ride as well. So we're all getting theme. This ability is very, very nice. Definitely some unexplored areas there. And honestly, the Sword keyword kind of needed it. There was a bunch of shit figures, but X-Men's got the tools that we need to bring Sword up into the meta. Next up, with this special movement ability, she's got phasing teleport, which is always nice. She can't be really locked down. And after Abigail uses it, if she moves 4 squares or less after resolution, she may make an attack. So this can be a melee attack or a ranged attack. Now, typically, she's mostly going to be making ranged attack because, as you can already see, she's got the penetrating psychic blast. She gets ranged combat expert, although it's not her top dial. And that's mostly what she's going to be doing. She's got a 6 range, so she's going to be able to move 4 squares and shoot 6. So she's got kind of a running shot. It's like a half running shot, but you can't perplex up her movement and get her a little farther that way, which is a little annoying, but it's still nice anyways to not have to do breakaway rolls when your opponent bases your ranged character. That's one of the most annoying parts about having running shot, is when your opponent runs right up next to you, they just stick some idiot next to you, some little support piece. And if you don't have a secondary attacker to clear that thing, your ranged attacker's stuck next to them. They just have to punch them, which is lame as fuck. But Abigail Brand can teleport the fuck out of there, start making ranged attacks against whoever she wants. Then for her special damage power, friendly characters within range that can use X-Men team ability can use shield team ability. So we've got the shield team ability right here. The adjacent friendly characters modify range +1, and as a power action, you can choose an adjacent friendly character. And this turn, when they make a ranged attack, they up their damage by +1. The shield team ability is a very powerful ability. If you've played HeroClix for any length of time, I don't need to tell you that, but just in case, this is a very, very nice ability. Giving anybody with X-Men also shield is kind of crazy, because most characters that have the X-Men keyword have the X-Men team ability. It's kind of their whole thing. So you're able to give anybody that you bring along for the ride with the Sword keywords into your shield team ability. Also, just running her on straight X-Men, honestly, not that bad. We all know that X-Men have range attackers between Cyclops and Phoenixes and anything like that want that extra range up. Or potentially, in Phoenix's case, which generally have like 10s and 12s range, that damage up. Very, very, very useful ability. I really like this damage ability as well. Then she has a Force Blast, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Toughness, Energy Shield Deflections, Range Combat Expert, Shield, right? All pretty good stuff. For the amount of utility that this character brings, as well as the amount of offensive pressure this character brings, she is worth way more than the 40 points that she is statted at, in my opinion. She's got 5 clicks of life, so she's a bit of a squishy, but for 40 points, 5 clicks of life, are you kidding me? I'll take that any day of the week. Her defense powers are not great. I kind of wish the energy shield deflections and the toughness were traded, so she had at least 2, preferably 3, obviously, energy shield deflections on the top click, so she can kind of stay in that backline a little bit more. But we'll take what we can get. So notably, she only has that phasing movement on her first 3 clicks, and the shield and the X-Men gain shield ability for that bottom 3. and that X-Men gain shield team ability on her first 3 clicks as well. She does pretty quickly drop off from 3 damage to 2 damage with only 1 hit, but her attack value is pretty much 11 that entire time. Just that click 3 has that 10 value, because on that 4 and that 5, range combat expert is going to push her back up to an 11 attacking for 3. Now, you're not going to have a bunch of shield team abilities randomly scattered around through your team, so you're not going to be able to push your damage up that way or your range, but definitely take advantage of those first 3 clicks. She can move 4 squares, take a shot. If you position your team correctly, when she's done moving, you'll have at least 2 or maybe 3 other X-Men characters standing in that spot so that they get the shield team ability. So now she can shoot for 9 with the 11 damage penetrating. If you throw some perplexes on the team with something like a Cypher, I really like Cypher with her, then her attack goes up to a 12. If you do a little bit of planning ahead of time, then you can do the shield team ability so that when she takes her ranged attack, she can have a 4 damage on that top click, then perplex it up to a 12, then phase her over near where a bunch of shield team guys are, or X-Men team guys are, or both, and then she's shooting on that 11, then she's shooting on that 12 for 4 damage penetrating with a 9 range for 40 points. I'll take that any day of the week. The amount of utility that this character brings with her keyword changing and the leadership and just natural shield team ability and giving X-Men shield team ability is crazy. Plus the offensiveness from the free phasing and kind of acting like a running shot so you're never tied down, penetrating psychic blast, being able to tear through all of those tanks except for guys with energy shield deflections or stealth or invincible, she kind of struggles with, but she's 40 points. What do you want? You want her to take down an invincible guy for 40 points? You kidding me? Give it 3 years. But for now, we're stuck with the power level that we're at currently, and we're not able to do that just yet. So for now, where Abigail Brand is at, I really, really, really like this character. One of my favorite characters to pair her with is this Cypher. He's got Perplex, he's got Telekinesis, he's got the X-Men team ability, so he'll pick up that shield team ability. He can sidestep around to kind of get into position so he can actually power action to give her the +1 damage, then sidestep 2 squares to be hopefully near where she's going to teleport to so that he can then still give her that shield team ability. He's also got Perplex, so he can push up her attack with that power action. He's also pushing up her damage. To get her into position, he can telekinesis her or anyone else on the team. And I really like this combo. Cypher's also only 35 points, so for only 75 points, which honestly is a nice, very round number for these kinds of teams, only a quarter of a 300-point build, very nice. This is a really good, solid team just to start building from, honestly, in my opinion. This is a really good core to start building either an X-Men or a Sword team from if you manage to pick either of these pieces up. This Cypher is a common from House of X, but the Abigail Brand is a super. Listen, we can't showcase every common on the channel, but we will showcase a couple supers every now and then. So, if you guys have opened an Abigail Brand, let me know what you think about the figure. Let me know if you're thinking about picking any up after this video. Let me know if you have any spicy teams that you're throwing Abigail Brand on. And I've got a team coming for you guys in the beginning of November, after we finish Spooky Team Month with October, that is going to highly be utilizing all of her abilities here. And we'll see that Cypher again, don't worry. If you guys like the video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. We do read all of our comments, so if you got any ideas for any other individual character tours that you'd like to see us go over, or any other ideas for this Abigail Brand figure, let me know. We do read all of our comments and try to respond to every single one. And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.